Hi all, welcome to my channel, welcome to my world. This is the world of Wayne, brand new week, happy Monday. Today, as you can see behind me, we're going to be continuing with the Fanhome release of Build Your Own R2-D2. Now this is one of those stages where I'm going to take things pretty slowly, especially the last couple of stages, because we are going to start connecting some of the electrics to the dome section here. Now if you want to get this for yourself, I have put the link down here to the Fanhome website. You can get that all the way from pack 1, but I do understand from building this in the past, electrics can be kind of fiddly, so I'm going to show you the best practices to make sure that when you connect this up for the first time, it's going to work the first time. So without further ado, let's get cracking. Okay, we're going to start with stage 75, so I'll just turn to where we're going. As you can see, we're now going to continue the rest of the ring here. This is the ring that we have been working on previously, so that by the end of it, we have pretty much got the body structure ring in place. So I've got stage 75 here. Let's get this out. And remember, all the screws for this come in a separate pack, so I've got them here in my little screw tray. And I'm just going to lay these out exactly as they go. I want the numbers to be pointing up. Each one has a number on here. So let's just line this up. This one's going to go in there. And again, number up facing there. This one's going to go on here just like this. Then these little connectors here are just going to go underneath. Just like that. And these are going to be connected in with 2 times 4mm screws. They look just like that. Silver ones these are. And just get these in 2 on each point. So this is the last one just going in here, and that is the full top ring completed. So bringing over the ring that we've already done, this is now just going to go on top just like that, again with the numbers facing up. And this time when we put this in, we're going to be putting it in with 2.5 times 8mm screws, longer than the ones we just had previously. These are going to go first into the uprights here that we put in. So there's 4 of these uprights. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're going to be connecting just the back section here as well. And again, that's the last one going in there. So that's 4 of them. And then we've got 2.5 by 4mm screws just going into the ones at the back here. These are pretty similar to what we just put in the outer ring, but they are slightly thicker, as you can see there. Just like that. Get all these in. That's the last one there. And that is all there is to do in that stage. So in stage 76, again, just turning to where we're putting the outer body again. We've got some more details for that panel to put in, looking just like that. So by the end of it, we've got this outer panel done. Then we're going to be going back to the dome, and I'm going to be putting some more of these hex bolts in. And remember, I've got my own hex bolts that I'm using. I'm not using these plastic ones that come with this kit. Now, if you're wanting to get those metal ones, once again, they're in the video description, so you can see the link for that. So here is stage 76. And the first thing I'm going to do, once again, we have got this shoulder bracket just to put into this section here. It's not actually affixed at the moment. It just sits in here. So there is a chance that this could fall out. I wouldn't worry too much about that. Matter of fact, that's got in quite stiff. You see, it's not going to fall out on its own. They are loose on the other plate, so just bear that in mind. Now we've got an oxagonal, is that a word? Oxagonal heat exhaust vent, which again has just got a lug here. That's just going to go in here just like that. It's going to be secured from the other side by a 2.3 by 6mm screw. And that's a black screw looking like that. The threads are actually spaced out. That tells you it's a plastic screw. So that's just going to go in here. Perfect. Now, the next stage has already been done for me. But basically, we've just got to put this blue backing onto this section here. That was handy for it, wasn't it? And then that's just going to go into the slot that we can see at the side of the body here. So it fits flush. Turn it over. And this time that's going to be held in with some 2.4 by 4mm black screws. They look just like that. So I'll get these in. on that side and just one on the other side. Then we're going to be putting this heat exhaust vent in here, making sure it's round the right way so the number should be facing you, just like that. Black screws again, but this time there's 6mm versions of those. Pretty much similar to what we've just used to put in the heat exhaust there. So one this side. They go in at a kind of angle, as you can see. So that's 1 and 2. So when that's done, that should look just like that. Excellent. Put that to one side. Bring over the dome here. Probably best on the top camera. And I'm just trying to rotate this round. Where the clips are here, we're going to be putting a further 6 of these into the 6 holes that we've got on here. I'm not using those though. I'm going to be using my metal ones that I've got here. So that's done. As you can see there, the white ones here, because I run out of my metal ones. You actually need 27 of the metal ones. I've had a count up for you, so that should be enough to actually put all of those in for you. But with those in, that's the end of that stage. So in stage 77, we've got the body frames and the dome fittings. So we've got a few more metal sections just to put on the frame here. And then we're going to be putting a few more of these little plugs into the dome section. Then we're going to take the lightsaber shaft that we worked on previously, and we're actually going to be putting this into the dome section. There's going to be loads to do in this one, because once we've done that, and we've got that lined up where it needs to be, we've got the circuit board to put in. We're going to put the circuit board in and then start connecting all the wires up. So by the end of it, look at that. It's going to look just like that. So I'm going to take my time on this stage. So here's stage 77. Let's get all of this out. And the first thing I want to do is take this bracket here, and it's just going to go underneath this circular section. I've actually lined it up the way it actually goes. So it fits over these 2 pins here. So when it's in, we've still got 2 pins pointing up on this side. When we put that in, it's going to be fixed with 2.5 by 6mm screws. These are silver screws, and they look just like that. So I'll get these in. And this one here is number 2. Excellent. Bring over the frame that we've been working on, just like that. And this is going to be fitting onto this section here. We have got 2 little pegs in the bottom there. They're just going to go over that. So this ledge is on the inside, but it's going to be connected from the underside of this. That's going to be connected with some 2.5 times 8mm screws. A lot bigger than the ones we've just had. They look like that. So get this revolve around here, put it back into place, and I'll get the screw just in the bottom here. Right, we can put that to one side. Once again, bring over the dome. And then we've got the dome. You see this blue sensor here? We've got 3 to put in just over the top of this section just here. Get them in. So every hole in this black frame now should have one of those screws in. Okay, we're now going to be putting the lightsaber tube inside this. So to start this, we need this cable tidy here. And what I want to do is gently just sort of gather the wires together. So there's no slack at this section here, but I'm pinching it at this section here. Just there. And I'm going to start putting this wire tidy around. And all you do is just start it off on one side, like that. And then just keep rolling it round. So it goes up all of the cables here. So I'll keep doing that and get that in place. So as you can see, that's on just like that. Now you will notice previously I put a bit of solid resin on there to keep this wire in place. If you haven't done that, this is the time that they actually want us to put a cable tie around that, just to keep this wire from moving. Because as the dome head moves, there's a chance it could rip this wire out, and that's why it's important to put this cable tie in. So I'm going to put one in here first. Just like that. Snip off the excess there. And then the rest of the wires here, I'm just going to put a cable tie around the full body of this section here. Just to lock that into place, like that. And I'll snip off the excess. Now, bringing over the top here, which we already put the hinge on there, which I'm just showing you here. This is where the top of the lightsaber is going to go. Now, if you can see, we've got 2 holes here. We're just going to line up the 2 holes on the top of the lightsaber tube with that. Now, you want to put it in with the mechanism facing towards the middle. So it's going to go in just like this. Now, the mechanism here should be facing towards the white and the blue controllers there. So I'm just lining that up. So that's in just like that. I need to secure that from the other side. And that's going to be secured in with some black 2.3 by 6mm screws. So I need 2 of them. Going to be impossible to film this for you, but I will get these in, show you what that looks like. You will actually find if you put it that way on your dome, it's easier to, once you've got one in, get the other one in. And let gravity be your friend to get that last one in. Whoops. That's if you don't slip off. Make sure that's nice and tight. Excellent. As you can see, the hatch still comes down, but now that lightsaber is fully into place, looking just like that. I'll keep it this way round, because now we're going to start connecting the wires. The first wire, we're going to start routing them around. Next to the blue one here is the white one. So the white wire, I'm going to be putting under this little cable clip here. Simple, just like that. It's then going to route around to the other 2 cable clips that we've got just on this side here. So I'll get those in. 1 and 2. Perfect. And this is where we're going to plug the first wire in. Now, if you see the circuit board here, this way round, it's going to go into the very end one here. Now, before you put it in, check the wires are securely in the plug, which they are. Check there's no bent pins in there, which there isn't. And then when you put this in, make sure you put it in the right way. Just like this. And then make sure it's pushed all the way down. Hold it either side, not the wires. Just checking that, and it should fit nicely in there. So that's the first wire in. Now we need to come back and take the wire from this black LED sensor here. Once again, we're going to feed that through these clips at the side. The 2, if I get this through first. Once again, that we got there. So it's coming out of there, in the clip there. And this one is going into the next one along. So it's the next plug here. Again, check the plug's okay on there. No bent pins in the circuit board. And then push this one in. And again, just ensure that's in all the way, just checking the connection that it's flush in there. Now, next to the circuit board, we've got this other sensor here, which is a small LED sensor, which has got a tiny lead coming off there. That's going to go into the next plug along. So again, check the plug. Check there's no bent pins and put this one into place. Perfect. That's that one in. Then we've got this white sensor just next to that one, which has got a red, black and blue plug here. And that one's going to be plugged into the 4th one along. Just like that. You can either use a cable wire tidy for this, or I'm going to use a little bit of insulating tape. There is some excess on this wire that you really don't need. So what I'm going to do is just fold it back along itself, just to keep this tidy. Kind of like this. And I'm going to wrap that in a little bit of insulating tape. You could use a little cable tie for this. You could, entirely up to you. But there you go. That's in place. The whole reason that I'm being meticulous with the wire tidy is because obviously this dome turns and you don't want any snagging for the wires that are actually coming into the main body. Now we've got a lead that's coming from the projector. The projector is just to the right hand side of the circuit board here, looking like that. And that one's going to go into the last plug here. Now that plug is actually labelled projector in there. So we have got G, Y, LCD2, R, B and projector all in place now. The only two wires to connect now are from the lightsaber shaft, and as you can see we've got a larger wire which is yellow and black. Checking the plug again, this is just going to go into the larger plug that you can just see here, which has got 4 pins on it. Again, checking all the pins, they're good, and make sure that's pushed all the way in, which it is. And then the last lead, the red and black lead of that, is going into the last plug next to it. And they're all in. So the only thing that hasn't got a plug in it now is this red plug here. That's going to connect all the electrics from the body to this main one here. That gets done a hell of a lot later, not yet. But hopefully, as you can see, that's everything plugged in, and that's all there is to do in that stage. So in the last stage here, stage 78, we're doing something different now. We're going to actually do a tool compartment. Lots of bits here. Tool compartment's eventually going to go into this section, but it looks just like this. We're going to actually build the tool first, then put it in its enclosure. So by the end of it, it's going to look just like that. We're then going to be putting that into this piece that I got here. So by the end of it, that's the 2 pieces that we've got in place there. So the first thing I want to do in this pack is just take out the ends of the tool sections here, and these need to be separated from the sprue. So I'm just cutting off the pieces here. That's 1, 2, and I've got 1 at the back here. Get out the central stalk here, and these are just going to go into the end of each one. Now I'm just going to push them in. Not sure if they need glue. No, they're going quite strong. It's up to you if you want to glue these in. I probably will glue these afterwards, but for now, for the sake of this demonstration, you see they're in quite securely. They're in like that. So now this is going to be going into this section here, but when we put this in, I'm just going to check the connection of that. It should be quite a tight fit, but they do want us to glue this into place. So I have actually just glued these pins in now, and I've glued this to this arm like that. Now I've got a couple of hinges to make now, so I'm just going to get these out. So I need these 2 and these 2 brackets here, and to connect these together, all we're going to do is we're going to be putting the sections here together like this. In this side, which got a hexagonal little screw, we've got a little hexagonal nut to go in there like that. Then on the other side, we've got a screw which is 8mm, but it's not threaded all the way down. I don't know if you can see that. It looks like that. So that's going to go in this side. Get this locked in, and then screw that into place. So there you go, that's in. And as you can see, it makes that arm move like that. I'm just going to repeat that on the other side here. So again, the nut in that side, screw in this side, and then just secure them together. Now we want the shaft that we've made with the longer base, and this is going to be plugging into that once again with some glue. I put some glue down there already. It's going to fit in just like that. So I can put that to one side. We've got another detail here just to take off the sprue. So get this one clipped off just here. This detail is just going to go into the hole just at the side. Again, you want to put some glue into that. So I pushed that in. Straighten it up. So it looks like that. That's going to go onto this large shaft that I've got here. And once again, we are going to want to glue that in place. And then once again, D-shaped pattern. This is just going to go into the bottom here. And again, we want to glue that in there as well. So as you can see, by the end of it, we have now made 2 tools. I'll put them to one side. Now I'm going to take the tool compartment that I've got here. And I'm going to put the tools in. Now they go in with this one at the top, this one at the bottom here. Now they're actually just going to go into the holes that we can just see here, like that. They've actually got it in this way so that the fork is facing towards the interior there. That's going to be held in on the other side with these black 2.3 by 6mm screws. So get that in this side. Do the same on the other side here. And then we just want to fold these tools down. So that one's folding down there. This one folds down just like that there. You might want to check, just taking this one back out again, that you have tightened this screw here quite tight, because you don't want to have a floppy tool. And I can't believe I've just said that. But this is the World of Wayne channel, and I'm sure you'll be disappointed if I didn't say something like that. This one was a little bit floppy, you see, so that one's in. So now when it's in, it's not going to fall out when I hold it upside down. So I just want to take the lid section now, or the cover, and I need to get out these 2 brackets here. Now they're going to go either side of these hinges here and here. Now they're going to be held in with these 11mm black screws here. So it's going to go in that side, and then we're going to secure that to each hinge just from the outside here. So that's one. Do the same on the other side and get that all the way in. Then this hinge is going to be fitting into the square areas that we've got here and here. Say square, they're more rectangular, kind of like that, which is going to create the door for this section. Now it's going to be held in place again with some 2.3 by 6mm self-tapping screws. These are the black screws. I've got one here, and I'll get the first one in place. You need to make sure that the hinge is actually sitting in the square hole that I've got here. So that's one. I'm not putting it too tight. There you go. Gravity is your friend. And then make them really tight. So bringing over what we created last time, we're going to be putting this into place. It's just going to go over these lugs just here. You do want to make sure that your door is lined up with the opening here. So best to put your door in first and then put it in. So it's a nice flush fit in there. And then screw that in. So as you can see, that's in. And we now have a door that we can open and close. Now as you can see, that holds itself in place, no problems at all. Now if yours doesn't hold yourself in and it's off warp or something like that, you do want to make sure that your hinges here, this screw here and this screw here, are in as tight as you can get them, and then make sure these 3 are then tight up there. But once it's in, as you can see, you can open and close, no problems at all. So last things to do now is we've got the brackets to put in. Basically I've got the brackets that look like this, which are going over the center ones here, and where's the other one? Here. There is 2. So that you've got an open side here, and do exactly the same with these bits here. Now these do have a little arrow on them. We want to make sure that the arrow is pointing away from this. So one in there, and then one in here. Now again, they're all going to be held in with the 2.3 times 6mm black screws. So this is the last one in. Get that in all the way. Make sure it's nice and tight. And that, completed like that and looking like that on that side, is all there is to do in that stage. That's all there is to do in that pack. See what I mean? Absolutely loads to do on that. But it's good that we've got a little tool case now in place. We've done a lot of the head wires, so we're now going to be working down the body, getting the electrics in and getting the batteries, which you should be thinking about now. If you want the link to your batteries, I've put a link in the video description. I've also put a link this time for you folks in the US as well, where you may be able to get the batteries from, but check them out. But I hope you like that video. If you did, please remember to give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed already, please remember to subscribe. Other than that, take care.